Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chi Chi. If this is your first time coming to my video, hold on. If this is your first time coming to my channel, welcome. I make nursing, lifestyle, motherhood, and beauty type videos here on my channel. So if you guys are interested, then you guys should click the subscribe button and also make sure you like and comment down below. So this video today is so important because I've been getting a lot of requests to do this video, so I decided to finally do it. So as you guys can see in the title, I don't even know what I'm going to title it, but this is going to be an in-depth review of my accelerated Bachelor's of Science of Nursing program. I'm for the just for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to tell you guys where I went to school, but I will give you guys a rundown of each class and how it went, the pros and the cons, and how I think you should study for each class. Now, currently right now, I am 27 weeks pregnant. So my last full quarter while I was in nursing school, I was pregnant. So that's another story on its hand. If you guys haven't seen my med surge video, I will link it in the eye. And if you guys haven't checked out my how to ace your med surge and health assessment class, I'll also link that up top and link all my nursing school videos down below. All right, so let's get into it. So I basically have my iPad here because first of all, you guys are going to need like a pencil and a pen in case you are taking similar classes to this or you are having trouble studying or whatever, because I'm going to give you guys a lot of tips, which is why I brought out all of my stack of books here that I use to study for my program to get out of it and to graduate on time. All right, so the first quarter, so basically my program is 16 months, okay? We do fall, spring. I started in the fall. You can enter my program in the spring, but I started in the fall. So I started fall back in fall of 2017 and I just graduated December 2018. So I did the fall, spring, summer, fall. Okay, so let's get started. So the first semester was rough. So that semester I was taking a nursing history class, a fundamentals of like it's like a fundamentals nursing course where you basically learn the foundation of just nursing period. We had a lab that was attached to it, and we had patho and pharmacology together as one. Altogether, that was 16 credits. The most credits in that quarter was the pathophysiology and pharmacology class, which I got an A in. So I'm going to start off with the nursing history class. So that class to me was pretty basic. You just pretty much learn about Florence Nightingale and all the other nurses who pretty much paved the way for the field of nursing. You get to learn about the whole background about that. Now, Foundation of Nursing was basically the class where, in my school, where they taught us how to, do vitals, how you can do assessments on patients, what questions you should be asking, open-ended, not closed-ended, like, do you have pain? Like, yes, no, we don't want that. We ask, like, how long has your pain been going on? Is there any precipitating factors that, led up to this pain? Stuff like that. We also learned how to do meds, giving meds like IVs, suppositories, vaginal suppositories. We also learned how to do nasal gastric tubes, learning how to hook up different IV drips, learning how to do IV pumps, all that different type of stuff. So in this fundamentals class, the lab and the class was separate. So basically in my school, if you pass the lab, but you I'm sorry, if you passed, even if you have like 100 in the course and you failed the lab, you failed the course, and then you have to start all over. So, and also with the lab course, you have practicums. There's two of them. Usually we had one like mid-semester, and then we have one towards the end. Mid-semester is just basically everything that you learned about and fundamentals up into the midpoint, and you're tested on it. Now, with my school, we also do med calculations. In my school, the first quarter, for whatever reason, they didn't allow us to use calculators, so we had to do all of our math by hand. Oh, I hated it. Like, I really hated it because I was born in America, and like everybody uses calculator. Like growing up, that's what I remembered. So to go backwards and not use a calculator didn't make sense to me, but that was how they did it. Now there were a couple of people that were in my class that were foreign, that were foreigners. That means that they were from different countries and they came here to my program, and they struggled a bit because they told most of them told me that they learned, doing math by hand, so they never did the calculator. So it was easier for them. But then when second quarter came and we were able to use calculators and stuff like that, it was not a big deal. So that's another thing too. You learn how to do med calculations. Also, with fundamentals, it was a class. Our class schedule was basically Monday through Friday. You basically were in class almost 8 hours a day from 8:30 to 4. The labs were split up. So in order to study for that class, you basically reviewed all of your PowerPoint slides. You reviewed what was given on the review, if that was like a review day, like if the upperclassmen did it, or you did a review if you got the review sheet. And usually with my school, they don't give the review sheet literally until like 2 or 3 days before the exam, because they don't want people to just be studying from that and just memorizing and cramming. Sorry, I'm pregnant and I might get thirsty, so that's why I have oranges here. And if you're wondering, this is orange and lemon water. Don't ask me, it tastes good. Okay, moving on to patho and pharmacology. Now, you guys know I have posted on my Instagram about this class. So I'm going to show you guys what I started off with, and then I'll show you guys what I downgraded to. So this is my patho and pharm notebook, aka binder, that I use. I basically went through each class, wrote out all of my notes. I have tabs here for like quiz 1, quiz 2. I separated them. Sometimes I would print out my my PowerPoints that you guys can see here, and I would write my notes. Now, when I first started a program, I used to do it like this. I used to write all of my notes and put them in color code and highlight and all that different stuff. And let me tell you, it was too much. So the pros of the pros of this class was the fact that I got to learn about pharmacology and pathophysiology. Now, some schools do separate it, which I think it makes it a little bit more harder. I feel like if you know the patho of how a drug works along with the drug, it makes it easier to kind of not like memorize it, but kind of put the whole picture together. So for that class, instead of doing that method, because it was so time consuming, mind you, I had still these other classes, I started typing up my notes and doing like note cards. What I did was, let me see if I can find an example. So what I did was, for each drug, I wrote out like the name of the drug. I wrote out like the pathophysiology, the indication. Oh, I can't find it. Oh, I don't think it's in this folder. I did it online. Yes, it was on Google Doc. So what I did was I just created like a tablet sheet, and I just, put the name of the drug, the pharm class, therapeutic class, wrote what it was used for, the indication, pretty much the adverse effects, nursing implications, patient information, any contraindications. So I made like a flow chart for each drug. That was the best way to study for that class, along with not studying from the textbook. In my opinion, it was better for me to study from the PowerPoint. So that was how I passed for that class. Now, the final we took each class was 25% of our final grade. And the only way that you can pass that class was my school, they gave us like a review sheet of the possible drugs that could be on there. And I just brought out all those sheets that I did for every drug class, and I wrote them out, and I kind of just had them out, and I just kept reviewing. Okay, so that's that. That was first quarter. Second quarter, which was in the spring, and we did get a Christmas break, which was like 2 weeks. Second quarter was health assessment. That's when we started MedSurg 1, and we have scholarly inquiry. Now, if you know about scholarly inquiry, which is like a research class, they might call it nursing research or a capstone or something along those lines. Any research class that you have in nursing school, it is important. You guys need to pick up this book. This book is the APA manual. It's the 6th edition. As you guys can see, I have this book. I've highlighted in this book, and I've also tabbed this book. of an important page, because let me tell you, when you write papers in bachelor's level or even graduate level work, you have to cite everything, and everything has to be in APA format. So there's a page 177, which basically tells you how to cite everything. The book just goes through everything. This book is a must. If you're in nursing school, you must have some sort of APA book, because my teachers were not only crazy about this book, but they will take off a lot of points, even if your paper was good, if you didn't have good format. Okay, so that's for the research class. Health assessment, like I said, I have a video on that, so I'll just link that up at the top so you guys can find out more about that. Now, I did start MedSearch 1 in my spring class. This was the first class where you get to learn about all the diseases: Crohn's disease, celiac disease, heart failure, pulmonary edema, I don't know, COPD, sexual diseases like HIV, STDs, basically all the body systems. So you learn about all the body systems, and you learn about all the drugs that are affiliated with that body systems, assessments associated with that body systems. This class was hard for me. I'm not gonna lie, I struggled in this class because going from one semester to another, the questions kind of changed. Like, it was no longer black and white. It was more about, excuse me, it was no longer black and white. You basically had to choose answers based on assessments. Like, let me see, for instance, like if somebody has COPD, you know, what are some things that you're looking for? No longer will say like coughing or anything like that. You'll be looking for words like dyspnea, having trouble walking, has a history of like smoke use, stuff like that. Like the questions are more like symptomatic based, assessment based. So you have to really understand what a disease was about to in order to get the question correct. And then number two, which made that class hard, was that the answers became select all that apply. So in my school, they started doing select all that apply. So it can be all of the answers that are correct. It can be 3 of the answers, 4 of the answers, 2 of the answers. But basically, if you missed one of the select all that apply, even if you got the other ones correct, you did the question wrong. Okay? So for this class, what I did again was there was a Davis drug guide, which I think I've talked about before in my other nursing video. What I liked about it was there was a Davis drug guide. It looks like this. And this drug is calcitonin. And it's used to treat Paget's disease, anybody who needs help with that. Hold on, what am I trying to say? Paget's disease. It also helps with people who are post-menopausal to help keep their calcitonin levels within range. So you won't get like osteoporosis and stuff like that. So what I did was I printed it out, and I did this for a lot of drugs. So what I did was I printed it out, I wrote my own notes, things that I felt like could stick with me, like calcitonin. Another name they would call it is probably like salmon. And what's important about this drug is like you have to report if a person is like allergic to any seafood or salmon. Also, you want to make sure that you are monitoring the calcium serum levels. So like if somebody is too low or too high, what are you looking for? Like the Chevek sign or the Tursu sign with the fingers, stuff like that. I mean, these are things that you'll be taught, and these are things that they will test you on. And that's the hard part because it's so much. So you have to basically figure out what is actually really important, what actually really sticks out. And then with these, they also tell you like nursing implications. So you want to watch obviously for any rashes. Let's see here what I already mentioned. Yeah, monitoring for calcium levels, monitoring for phosphate levels. And then also you want to tell them how to take it. So if the patient has like any issues with taking the meds, if they have like warm or flushing, they should notify the doctor. And it tells you different ways that you can take the meds, and sometimes they will actually put like prices, but I never tell patients that because that stuff usually depends on like your insurance and stuff like that. And then also for this class, I thought it was really important because around this time I was thinking of health assessments. So I also printed out this diagram here, and what it is, it just goes through the head, face, the abdomen, the feet, so the front and the back, what you'll be looking for. So stuff that applies to a disease is things that you would use like this health assessment to assess your patients. The best way I found to study for this class again was using the PowerPoints, creating my own study guide. So I'm going to show you guys an example of a study guide that I created. I had to go way back. Let me see. All right, so we're going to do cardiovascular. I love the cardiovascular system, and that, like, I always did well on those exams. So it's loading. So my key thing is, if you're a student, I would highly advise that you get a Google Doc account and a Google Slides. Let me tell you why. My first semester, my computer broke and it crashed, and I lost all of my notes, all of my diagrams that I had saved on my laptop and stuff like that. So after that, I couldn't get a laptop quick enough, and this was like literally a week before finals. So you can only imagine like the stress that I was under. So my advice is get Google Slides, get Google Docs, download all of your PowerPoint slides to Google Slides, and every time you type something, or if you like you type something, or if like let's say you make any edits, you don't have to change it. It automatically saves, so you never have to worry about, oh my god, did I save my notes, oh my god, did I do this, oh my god, did I do that. So